Autumn, 1781. The air over Yorktown, Virginia, hung heavy with the smell of gunpowder and impending destiny. General George Washington, his face etched with the strain of 6 long years of war, stood before his troops. The fate of 13 hopeful colonies, teetering on the brink of independence, rested squarely on this pivotal battle. With French allies, he had cornered Lord Cornwallis's British forces. Victory here could mean everything. But history, as we know it, is a delicate tapestry, and a single thread pulled awry can unravel a future unimaginable. In our timeline, Cornwallis surrendered, paving the way for American independence. But imagine, for a moment, a different turn of events. What if a crucial French naval blockade had failed, allowing British reinforcements to reach Yorktown? Or if a last-ditch counterattack by Cornwallis had succeeded, shattering Washington's beleaguered forces? In this alternate reality, the siege culminates not in triumph, but in a crushing defeat for the Continental Army. Washington's forces are routed, his dream of an independent republic extinguished. The spirit of '76 is broken. With the American forces scattered and their leadership captured or in exile, the rebellion swiftly collapses. There is no Treaty of Paris in 1783 granting independence. Instead, the 13 colonies are firmly brought back under the control of the British Crown. While some autonomy might be granted, it's always within the framework of the empire. North America remains a jewel in Britain's imperial crown, a vast territory rich in resources and loyal subjects. The experiment in republicanism, a radical notion for its time, never takes root on the continent. The absence of the United States fundamentally reshapes the global political landscape. Without a powerful, democratic republic setting a precedent, the spread of revolutionary ideals is slower, more fragmented. The French Revolution might still occur, but without the American example, its impact could be less globally resonant. European monarchies face fewer direct challenges to their legitimacy, and the concept of popular sovereignty struggles to gain widespread traction. The 19th century, in this timeline, remains a century of empires, with Britain firmly at its apex. By the early 20th century, British North America isn't just a collection of colonies. It has evolved into a series of self-governing dominions and provinces within a larger imperial federation, mirroring Canada's development in our timeline, but on a grander scale. From the Atlantic provinces to the Great Lakes Dominion and the Pacific territories, these regions contribute immense resources, timber, minerals, agriculture, and manpower to the empire. London leveraged this vast new world to fuel its industrial might and maintain its global supremacy, far beyond what it achieved in our history. The assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand still ignites the powder keg of Europe in 1914. But without the United States, the dynamics of World War I are dramatically different. There's no American neutrality to uphold, no eventual doughboys turning the tide on the Western Front. Instead, British North America, with its vast population and industrial capacity, mobilizes its full might from day one. Thousands of North American volunteers serve alongside British, Canadian, and Australian troops, providing a continuous influx of resources and personnel that shortens the war, but at an even greater human cost for the Commonwealth. The outcome of the Great War, though bloody, solidifies Britain's position as the undisputed global hegemon. German ambitions are curtailed more decisively, and the Treaty of Versailles is even more punitive. There's no League of Nations championed by an idealistic American president. Instead, Britain subtly shapes international policy through its vast network of dominions and imperial influence. The world enters a period of profound British dominance, economically, militarily, and culturally. The seeds of global discontent may still be sown, but they germinate under the formidable shadow of the Union Jack. The Wall Street crash of 1929, in our timeline, sent shockwaves globally. But in this alternate reality, without the speculative excesses of an independent American financial system, the initial shock might be less severe for the global economy. Britain, with its vast and diversified empire, can weather the storm with greater resilience, leveraging resources and trade within its protected sphere. While economic downturns are unavoidable, the interconnectedness of the Commonwealth could act as a buffer, preventing a full-blown global collapse and allowing for a quicker, albeit painful, recovery. As the shadows of Nazism lengthen across Europe in the late 1930s, the world faces its gravest threat. Without the USA, Britain truly stands as the primary bulwark against Hitler's aggression. There's no Lend-Lease Act, no arsenal of democracy across the Atlantic. Instead, the industrial heartland of British North America becomes the undisputed primary engine of the Commonwealth war effort. Factories in New Yorkshire and Canterbury churn out planes, tanks, and ships, while millions more North American guardsmen volunteer to fight in Europe and the Pacific. The empire's survival depends on itself. In the Pacific, the conflict also takes a radically different shape. Without a U.S. Pacific fleet, the Japanese Empire faces a different naval power, the Royal Navy, bolstered by North American shipbuilding. While Pearl Harbor never happens, Japanese expansion still threatens British, Australian, and Canadian territories. The war in the Pacific becomes an extended, brutal struggle for imperial dominance, with British North America playing a crucial role in maintaining supply lines and providing strategic bases. This grueling conflict further integrates North America into the larger imperial defense structure. Ultimately, the combined might of the British Commonwealth, fueled by its North American provinces, triumphs. The cost is immense, but the victory is absolute. The post-war world isn't defined by a Cold War between two superpowers, but by the undisputed global supremacy of the British Empire. Decolonization still occurs, but perhaps on Britain's terms, as a transition to a more integrated, globally connected Commonwealth rather than a dismantling of power. London stands as the unchallenged center of this new world order, dictating global trade, politics, and defense. In the decades that follow, the Commonwealth, with its vast resources and stable political framework, becomes a hotbed of technological innovation. Without the American-Soviet space race driving our timeline's digital revolution, this world sees a more collaborative, less militarized, but equally intense push for scientific advancement. British universities, long renowned, attract the best minds globally. North American ingenuity, channeled through imperial institutions, leads the charge in computing, aerospace, and medical sciences. The digital age still arrives, but with a decidedly British accent. By 2026, the former colonies of British North America are not just resource providers, but highly developed industrial and technological centers. Greater Philadelphia, now a major Commonwealth megacity, is a hub for biotechnology. The Pacific Coast Dominion rivals any tech center in the world for software and AI development, while the Great Lakes region leads in advanced manufacturing and robotics. These areas, alongside established hubs in the British Isles, form an interconnected network of innovation, driving global progress under the Commonwealth banner. Fast forward to our alternate 2026. The British Commonwealth of Nations isn't just a nostalgic echo of a bygone era, it is the dominant global force. Its member states, including the powerful dominions of North America, form a cohesive economic and political bloc. Its currency, the imperial pound, is the global reserve currency, and its regulatory standards are the de facto world standards. This is a world shaped by a singular, immense power, one that never fractured its North American holdings, and thus commanded unparalleled resources and influence for centuries. In this 2026, the Commonwealth's technological hegemony is absolute. From cutting-edge quantum computing developed in New England to advanced sustainable energy solutions spearheaded by Canadian Dominion engineers, their innovations lead the world. Global communications are routed through Commonwealth satellites, and the leading social media platforms and AI systems are all developed within its borders. This dominance isn't just economic, it's a profound cultural and intellectual influence, shaping everything from daily life to scientific inquiry across the planet. But what of global democracy? Without the American Revolution's success, the model of a liberal republic, founded on individual rights and popular sovereignty, remains less potent globally. While Commonwealth nations enjoy robust parliamentary democracies, the idea of universal suffrage and self-determination might have progressed more slowly for former colonial territories outside the core. This world is more orderly, more centrally managed, but perhaps less diverse in its political experimentation, its emphasis on individual liberties potentially overshadowed by the stability of a vast, benevolent, but ultimately imperial system. The failure of the American Revolution at Yorktown wouldn't just be a historical footnote, it would fundamentally rewrite the entire narrative of human progress. The world we inhabit today, shaped by American ideals of self-determination, innovation, and democratic aspiration, would simply not exist. Instead, we'd live under the long shadow of the Union Jack, marveling at the technological prowess of a unified Commonwealth, perhaps without ever realizing the alternate path history could have taken. It's a stark reminder of how close we came to a profoundly different world, all hinging on a few pivotal moments and the courage of those who dared to defy an empire.